and welcome to this episode of the SLB Show. I'm your host, Steven Lee Benson, and remember, the more you know, the more you can grow, the more you can do. And I'm going to take time to explain to everyone how I got on the self destructive road of alcoholism and my journey, my 1.5 year journey of sobriety. As most alcoholics know, you don't go, you don't hit rock bottom overnight. In fact, you start kind of young in life, kind of early in life, in the sense of when was my first drink? I was 14 and I drank 2 shots of El Presidente. It's a strong drink, and of course from Mexico. It is what it is. And so what happened after that, pretty much, if alcohol was available, I'd drink it. If not, no big deal. It wasn't at the forefront of my thought, at least at the time being. So high school rolls around. I join a program called the Grand Prairie Police Explorer Program. And you guessed it, it's in Grand Prairie, Texas. Well, I thought I was wanting to go into law enforcement. And I thought it would be a good way to keep me out of trouble. So I did a lot of great little adventures there. I did cigarette stings. I had to testify in court for that. I was a bailiff for teen court. Ironically, later on, I'd be in a lot of court settings. And, I got to drive a Grand Prairie police vehicle on an abandoned road. Not too bad. And I did a lot of competitions. So I kind of know a little bit about law enforcement procedures. With that being said, life comes up with different things that take place, like a girlfriend that becomes your fiance. Then by 9/11, well, becomes your ex fiance. She said, it's either the contract or me. I chose the contract. I had to do what was right, defend the country. It is what it is. Everybody makes choices, like my friend Richard says. Choice is the optimal experience. And so while I was working at CompUSA, I decided to join the reserves, which was the Texas Army National Guard. I went through basic, I went through AIT for signal communications. After I came back, I was introduced to something else. My first drill back at Camp Swift. Camp Swift is a few miles away east of Austin, I believe, east of Camp Mabry. That's the Camp Mabry is the headquarters of the Texas Army National Guard. So I'm in I'm at Camp Swift. I run into two captains. They took a good liking to me. They were cool. They were like, "Oh, you're cool. All right, let's see how well you drink." So I was introduced to Booker's Bourbon. It is actually sold in a wooden box, and it's aged minimal 8 years. We polished that off pretty quick, and I felt it the next day when I had to go to where Camp Mabry the next morning, and I was not feeling too good. Forward a few more years of steadily drinking, steadily going down the path of alcoholism. So I get laid off at CompUSA, 2004. Got a good severance package. Everything was great. I got on as a security officer for a school district in '04. By '05, I started getting orders to go and mobilize for peacekeeping mission in NATO. By '06, I was in the Balkans in a place called Skopje. And quite honestly, it was quite interesting. It was fun, interesting, but there's a unofficial saying in NATO. If you're not an alcoholic when you get to NATO, you will be after you leave NATO. And that is the truth because the guy I was supposed to replace wasn't there. Why was he there, you ask? Can tell you, drunk too many times on duty. So they sent him back to California. I arrive with my fellow American counterpart, or my fellow American NATO, cell, I guess you call it. I don't know what. But all I know is I got separated. When you get separated, they were able to turn in their firearms to the armory. I still had mine. And I was talking to my section heads. And who still had their firearm? You guessed it, me. And did we have a mandatory meeting? Yes, we did. Where was it? You guessed it, a bar. Who still had their firearm? Me, along with 15 rounds per magazine, which I had 2 magazines, so that gives you what? 30. Right. Okay. And my weapon system that they issued me was the M9. Civilian terms, it's known as the Beretta 9mm. So, with that being said, this is the airsoft version of it. See, doesn't take any ammo. So, and also too, safety tip of the day: leave the orange tip. There's a reason why it's there. So, with that being said, so I still had mine. I asked, why can we go to the armory? Oh, don't worry about it. You're already here. You'll just have 2 beers. What? Rivery? Scooby Doo? Showing my age, but it's okay. It's all good. But I go, okay, two beers. Little did I know, 2 Scope beers equals that of 4. Double that, buddy. Pretty wild. So basically, with NATO, you're either drinking coffee or drinking alcohol. Not much in between. So, in essence, when you're in NATO, alcohol flows like a raging river from hell. And I drank about 2 or 3 types of alcohols that you can't get in the States. Didn't help my case. But once again, choice is yours, whether you drink it or whether you don't drink it. Well, I spent 2.5 years in NATO. I'm either drinking coffee or drinking alcohol, and somebody's either arriving or departing their duty stations. And of course, there's always a welcome and going away parties. And where does that pretty much lead you? More alcohol. So did that pretty hardcore for 2.5 years. So I came back to the States, went back to my job. Did Steve quit drinking alcohol so much? No, you're right. No, did not happen. Did not work out too well. It was like water to me. And so here I am. I'm back in the States, hitting it harder than ever because I had a lot of unresolved issues. And the guy that was over our security department ends up becoming a police chief at a police department at a school district south of Arlington. Who did he want to come with him? Yours truly. As what? An audio visual, an audio, an audio, no, a video audio evidence tech. All right. Easiest job I've ever had in my life. Got a good bump in pay. Got a good, I mean, everything was pretty solid, right? And I'm thinking, this is awesome. But what happened? My drinking even increased. I could not manage success at all. Self sabotage. It happens. So in November of 2020, I got pulled over by APD for buzz to taillight. And who was under the influence? Yours truly. Who went to jail? Yours truly. I ended up my lawyer was able to plead it down to a obstructing a highway, which is a very low offense of DWI. Got probation, deferred adjudication. And did that stop me? No, because later on, November 11th, 2021, literally a year after my first arrest, I lost my mom. She died of a heart attack. A few weeks later, my cat dies. I had to put him down, my cat of 10 years. December 6th, 2021. Things weren't looking up too well for me, and still aren't. But you just got to keep going in life. That's all you can do. And nothing stopped me. I cut back on drinking a little bit, but not. I mean, I just kept going. So got off probation, and then 2022 rolls around, March 4th, 2022. I got a little bit too tipsy. I fell asleep at behind the wheel, turned the vehicle on, and ended up smashing into a parked vehicle that was unoccupied, which was very good because I did not want to hurt anyone. So now I'm in Veterans Treatment Court. Now I'm having to deal with quite a bit of stuff. I'm almost done with this. Long story short, once I got out, I had to choose, for me, this is just me, I had to choose the Bible or the bottle. I chose the Bible. I put away the bottle. And so, with that being said, I had to pay $4,000 for a lawyer. Mimi Coffee and Associates. DWI at night, coffee in the morning. Get it? Good. So, if you want to be a part of the $4,000 mug club, which I'm going to say this, I wouldn't advise it. But if you have to and you're a veteran, get with Mimi Coffee and Associates. It's no plug, but it just really did help me. They actually told me you qualify for Veterans Court. My $1,500 lawyer the first time around told me you don't qualify for Veterans Treatment Court. And with Veterans Treatment Court, you actually have to be evaluated. I was evaluated by Dr. Overstreet. He told me you suffer from severe alcohol dependency. And this is the same guy that actually has been deployed where I was at. So he knows the alcohol, and he knows that it flows like a raging river from hell. So, in conclusion, yours truly, Steven Lee Benson, has driven a police vehicle and became a customer in the back of a police vehicle. Do not follow Steven Lee Benson's path. Resolve your issues. Resolve your childhood traumas. Resolve what is ailing you on a psychological, physical, and spiritual level. It helps. Unless you want to embrace your alcohol liquid chains of oppression, because you're not going to be able to attain your goals, your dreams. If you live in this, are bounded by this liquid chains of alcohol oppression, you're not going to get anywhere in life. And I'll leave you with this. Okay? I'll leave you with this. As alcoholics, we have to look at alcohol like a liquid potato chip. You just can't have one. You always need one, then two. That two becomes four. That four becomes six. That six becomes eight, or until you pass out. So I hope my story actually helps y'all. And with that being said, like, subscribe, share, and if you really like this, share. Help me help you so we can help others. Thank y'all for watching. Take care.